So what is Kotoko?
Kotoko is being living things. It's like a human, but it's short, small, like because we call it the second name Sharzaza, which is means seems like a child. uh, it's like a human being, and then he has or she has a big chest and about small feet. It's hairy, and the hair cover his what is again the word? It's like his short.
Genitals.
Yeah. That. And then before, so many old, like my grandpa and my grandma talked about it because they have seen, and most of the people in the village have seen it, and been stolen like the rest of the rice in the pot and some rest of the food when they have like the rest of their dinner, and the Kotoko come to rob in the night, especially the people who live be far away from the main village, and also the people who hunted or fishing in the river or in the sea, in a quiet place where they live, and they come to rob, to steal their fish like that. And this story, I've proved it to when I asked to someone who still fish on the place where we go for swimming, and then he told me, he replied to me that he still can find. He's a young man, and we have also like old man who talk about it, that he have seen it just a few years ago. So we have seen it in 21st century, or yeah, like that.
So what do they see? Do they see the Kotoko itself, or do they see the footprints? What's the evidence? What do they see?
They see the Kotoko, yeah, whole body, like a neck, on the Kotoko's body, and as they said, they will go man and male and female. Most often, sometimes he calls someone who
So they see the men and the women.
Yeah,
male
yeah.
and the female.
and
me
they
the-
like also fire.
Mm.
Yeah, like a bonfire because the people when they hunt in the forest and they see the fire, so when they feel cold and come up to the fire, and during the hunting and they they are in the forest, and they sometimes Kotoko come to around the fire and sleep there.
Okay, so
But they're very sensitive. When they hear any sounds or any movement, then they go away very quickly. It's very, they are very fast moving.
So you told me a story before about the Kotoko wrestling people.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So many witnesses who told about this story, like wrestling, like because wrestling must have how to call it in English, like a head, the chief, the chief, the one who is the one people in many people who is good at wrestling. And then when Kotoko met this these people, he knows that he's very good at wrestling, and when he meets to Kotoko, and the Kotoko call him to have like a fight, like wrestling. Even the people don't want to do, because the people have know already the story about it. It's like unfightable, but the Kotoko force the people.
So the Kotoko are very strong.
Yeah, it's very strong too.
And
But when it's, but when the Kotoko, when Kotoko beaten, and then he used his, because he has, they has also the bony, very pointed nail on the finger. So sometimes they use this when it's the people fight him.
so who told you that story about the wrestling?
The wrestling all like most of the village people where I'm from, and everywhere around Matalaki area, coming rural, the people knows this story very well. And also even now there is one old man who is as a Fadi night guard. Also is I've seen it recently, and about
wrestling or just the
recently, just a few 2-3 years ago, or five, I don't know exactly. It's very recently. This night guard have seen it.
Just the Kotoko or the wrestling?
Just Kotoko. Yeah, come to sit on the fire where Azafadi camping before, like old camp, as he told me. And this time also, just a few months ago, that I saw one guys who fishing on S17 area all day and night. And when I asked him, and he stay even in the now in the present, you can see it often, and store his still his fish, because people they don't bring like the way how they do when they are going fish at S17, and they dig a hole and they put the fish in the hole without covering by sand, and set a fire, and the Kotoko come to rock them. Yeah.
And one more thing, you told me before about how it's possible to kind of build like a friendship with the Kotoko. So you lead them right, and then they.
Yeah, as the story told by my relatives who lives in the bush, they say that people knows because every night there apangu means the rest of the rice stuck on a rice pot, and they feel water, then you get rice tea. And in the pots have a rice tea, and still have the rest of the rice who stuck on the rice pot, and the Kotoko come to steal this apangu. Apangu is the rest of the rice taken on the rice pot, and the people knows because they ask, because apangu they keep it for their breakfast. But if in the morning they check it and they couldn't see apangu anymore, so they ask one another, all the family in the house, and they said, I didn't eat that raw. Everyone has the same answer. And then the old man or the head of family start to know that it's Kotoko, and then they leave the pango every night, even it's stolen by the Kotoko. And then the Kotoko also start to understand that the people knows, because it's happened often. But then he knows that the people in the house leave the food for them, and if this story happen and keep for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like 1 month, and they start to be a friend, to bring like honey, bring like 10 rack. They know what the people eat also, and they bring it to their house, and the people keep to be friendship with them. Yeah. It's very exciting story. Even me also was excited.
So do you think most people are they scared of? It's like a fear of the.
Yeah, of course. Most of people scared because we call it BB. BB is 11 things which is not human. So most of the people are scared of BB.
Like animals in general.
Yeah, wild animal, that's called wild animal, we call BB.
Oh, so people are scared of like Kotoko the same as they might be scared of maki, for example.
No, not the same. Maki, like in Madagascar, they don't scare much on like the things, like the things we see in the daytime, like not like common things like maki or lemur, but they scare. Can say that they scare like people who scare on snake like that.